Good morning. I would love to have Mr. Beast invest in my YouTube channel. I'm learning a lot about content, about thumbnails, about reaching my target audience, which basically is young adults who are learning how to drive. I've learned a lot about YouTube, and it's a great experience. I'm still relatively new to this process of making thumbnails, of putting out good content. As of today, I have around 450 pieces of content that are new to YouTube, and the audience support has been outstanding. I do watch a lot of YouTube programs on how to grow my brand, grow my content. There are some great content creators out here that I look and learn from. But I'm still learning, and I want to grow and hit those 4,000 watch hours by November. There is some pressure on me to make good content. I'm not just going to throw anything out here. That's one thing that I will tell you, that I care about my subscribers and I care about people who land on my channel. I really want to do a good job and provide you value. And whenever I put a video together, I do it with the hopes of giving you knowledge and understanding about driver's education, allowing you to learn from my channel. And hopefully, if you see the value, then you'll subscribe, you'll digest my content. And it's been a great opportunity. I think for starting driver's ed, obviously, you want to have a knowledgeable person. I am a state certified instructor. I'm very happy with that. And through my journey, there's some great websites on the internet with more revenue and support. I want to grow this channel. I want to be one of the best driver's ed instructors out here. I know it's going to take work. Anyone who really knows me knows that I'm not scared to work. It's been a journey. I've brought and created a big audience on TikTok with over 230,000 followers and 4.5 million likes. I'm moving that audience to my YouTube platform, and I've met some great content creators. I met some great organizations along the way, but I'm not done. I have to reach out, and I'm not afraid to ask for help. So Mr. Beast, if you're hearing me out here, help a brother, give me that knowledge, give me that content. If I would need something, perhaps it's development of my products, of my service, of my brand. I basically have a Blue Gettys mini microphone, which is awesome. I have a Logitech webcam. I have a basic ring light, which is fine. I need more of developing my product to reach my target market. I'm very passionate about driver's education. I love what it brings. It helps people around the world. I've looked at my analytics, so there are people around the world who support me. I'm going to mix this in with driver's education. I'm a person who always wants to grow, who always wants to develop myself. I'm not scared to put myself out here. The response from the comments has been really heartfelt, and there are opportunities coming my way. There's some other things that I need to do in terms of developing my business brand that I will do. And once that happens, I think things are going to really explode. And I'm not scared to reach out to you, Mr. Beast, or any other content creator, to bring value. I have over 2,300 subscribers, and that's a blessing, but I don't want to stop. I know people are looking at my content. I want to keep growing with that brand, and I'm sensitive to comments. I want people to feel comfortable talking to me, reaching out to me and saying, hey, driving with Myles, could you make a video on reverse parallel parking? Done. Could you go to a downtown area and talk about downtown driving, the hazards, intersections? Done. Integrating this in with getting into a vehicle, the first thing you want to do, obviously, is get into that vehicle and put on your seatbelt. I see a lot of students tending to forget that. That's the first thing you want to do. Next, steering. It's really important, and you want to have both hands, and this is from my 68 Camaro, you want to have both hands on the steering wheel. I see a lot of students just driving with one hand. Not safe at all, okay? Next, you've got to be able to do a lane change. And the biggest thing, I think, is people forgetting to check their blind spots. That's the hardest thing that I see students do. They're scared to look over their shoulder. If you're making a lane change to the left, look over your left shoulder. If you're making a lane change to the right, look over your right shoulder. That's the biggest thing that I see. Next is following distance. You don't want to be right on top of a car. You want to have space. You want to take your time, allow yourself to have a good distance between vehicles. This allows you, if someone is tapping the brakes really hard. Example, yesterday, we witnessed a murder. Yes, it was an animal murder. A rabbit or a squirrel had ran out in front of us. I know you're saying, what? You saw a murder yesterday? Yes, that's right, Mary. We saw it was a squirrel. A squirrel ran out. The person in front of us hit their brakes really hard. I'm saying to myself, oh my God. My student tapped the brakes. The squirrel ran across to our left and ran in front of a car. And then what happened after that? It got crushed and we saw the brain explode. So what I'm saying to you is things can happen at any given time, right? As a driver's ed instructor, you got to prepare for the unexpected. So that made a mark on me. So I told my daughter, she was like, Dad, what are you saying? I'm like, honey, we saw a murder yesterday. But there's some other opportunities coming that I'll be getting into, but distance is good because we were able to keep good distance because whenever an animal comes out, you want to be careful, right? You don't know what the animal will do. They're always unexpected. Responsiveness to weather. Weather is unpredictable. It could be sunny one day, snowing the next, raining, hailstorm, fog. You got to really prepare and have your car in the optimum operating conditions, meaning good headlights, good windshield wipers. I'm just going through my list. This thing is just merging on the expressway. A lot of students hate. And if you're on that ramp, you got to pick up speed. You can't just panic and slow down. I get a lot of questions from other social media as well as here. How do I merge? You get on that ramp, you accelerate, you pick up. And Mr. Beast, if you're hearing this, invest in a brother because I want to get better and I want to continue to improve. So merging on expressway, I think it's the biggest thing. And you got to have speed to get up to expressway speed. You got to pick that gap and you got to go. Parking. We know parallel parking is the big monster in driver's ed. You got to know how to set up your vehicle, reverse back, cut your wheels all the way to the left. The rear goes in at a 45 and you turn back. When I take my students out, that's the first thing that we do. We work on parallel parking so you can understand that fundamental. Downhill parking, if you're parking downhill, you turn your front wheels all the way to the right, you pull up that park brake. If you're parking uphill, you turn your front wheels all the way to the left, you pull up that park brake. You got to know those fundamentals. And if you don't parallel park and you go take your road test, you're just wasting your money and wasting your time. So you got to work on those fundamentals. And some of my most popular videos have been reverse parallel parking. Let's talk about passing. A lot of students hesitate. They go too fast. They go too slow. If you're going too slow and people are driving at 45 miles an hour and you're at 30, they're really going to run into you. So I tell my students, mirror, turn signal, blind spot, accelerate up. If you see a gap, you got to accelerate in that gap and comfortably adjust your speed. Let's talk about stopping at intersections. You got to stop behind that stop line. That's that big, fat, white line. Stop there. Don't cross that crosswalk because your car is blocking the intersection. Pedestrians will give us the stare look like, what are you doing, bro? Stop behind the stop line. And I really emphasize that because I want my students to really be good. And the next most important thing, you got to look left, right, and left. If I don't see you looking, you're going to pull out in front of a car and we're going to get hit. I cannot emphasize that enough. Let's go to the next one, turning. Turn into the nearest lane and you got to turn hand over hand into the turn and hand over hand out. I know there's a lot of controversy about turning. Do I let the wheel spin? Do I let it slide? Do I put my hands under the wheel? You got to have your hands at 9 and 3 or 10 and 2. You got to demonstrate control of your vehicle. Whatever lane you start in is the lane you have to end in, period. You can't drift out of your lane because you're going to get hit. And then people are looking at us, my heart's pounding, your heart's pounding. We don't want those problems. We want to be safe drivers out there. Let's talk about parking. You don't want to be on the curb. They are people who walk in the city to check. If you're on top of the curb, you're going to get a ticket. I wear size 14. When you park, I'm going to open up the door, drop out my 14, and measure that distance. Real talk. I want you to know, wow, I know how to park. Let's talk about backing up. You got to look out of your back window. You can't look in your mirror. I know some cars have backup cameras. My wife has a 2021 Trailblazer, you still got to look out of the back window. Little kids are lower than the car. You got to look. Let's talk about yielding to pedestrians. Pedestrians do not care. They're going to walk right out in front of you in downtown areas, anywhere. You've got to yield for them. Overall, Mr. Beast, if you're listening to this, help me out. I want to grow as a content creator. I want to be the best that I can be. I see value in what I'm doing, and my channel is slowly growing. And I love all of you who support me. Shout me out. Leave some comments. I look at my analytics all the time. Thank you, and I love all of you. Bye, guys.